Hey, Joe.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hey, Joe.
What's the
Joe,
other girl's name? Both these are Roxanne?
I'm Chantel. Yeah.
What's your name?
Chantel.
Chantel.
Chantel?
Yeah.
Chantel?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Chantel.
Hi.
Yeah, Joe, we've been waiting to interview you. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember going to a Mercedes event with Teresa?
In Jersey.
You think?
No.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we were
What do we do?
there. We were there. You were just, I don't know what she was doing. You were just like hanging around and we were talking to you. It was like 10 years ago, but you definitely seemed like that was the last place you wanted to be at. But you don't see, and you don't even remember.
Probably.
Yeah, so you don't even remember.
What
Uh,
was I doing? Buying her a car?
you were literally just walking around. She was
Was I
like
buying her
promoting
a car?
something. No, you were not.
Oh,
No, it was an
okay.
event.
Okay.
So you have an upcoming boxing match. Is that correct?
Yes, an upcoming boxing match against like Onawi. I can't never get his name right. Nawi Noah or anyway, that Jennifer Lopez's first husband.
Oh, okay. We know him.
Ojani, I'm sorry. Ojani
Yeah.
Noa.
Okay.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do this boxing match?
Well, I was supposed to do it 4 years ago. That's what got me in the Bahamas in the first place. And then with the COVID and all that crap going on, it just never happened. So I was trying to get it done then. And then it resurfaced and I was like, all right, what the hell?
Is this your first big match?
No, I mean, I used to compete a long time ago when I was younger. You know what I mean? I used to do a lot of competitions, with karate and stuff like that. So I fought in like big national tournaments and regionals and states, and so I'm used to fighting. I mean, that's not nothing new. So I mean, it should be fun.
We did a rewatch, and I remember you had what is it called? The thing you kick. What is that you hang?
Kickboxing.
Yeah,
The boxing bag.
I just remember you like punching it a lot. Do you remember having that in your garage?
Yeah, I still have one here.
Oh,
I carry them everywhere I go.
yeah. So when is this event, by the way? Tell our listeners.
This event is February 8th here in Nassau, Bahamas. We're having it at the Kendall Isaac Stadium. And it's an indoor stadium. And, we're just having it there. So, it should be fun. So a lot of people actually from Jersey are going to be here.
Oh, nice.
That I know of. You know what I mean? I don't really know of who else is coming, but I know a pretty lot of people that are coming already from Jersey. So, I mean, I talked to my friend Mike. That's a 10 in that group. You got 10 in the other group. You got quite a few people from Jersey coming.
Your girls are coming, right?
Yeah.
My girls will be there. Yeah, my cousins will be there. I got cousins coming. My brother, my mother, everybody.
Oh gosh, you cannot lose. You have to win.
I know they're all coming out to
please,
support you.
my mother will throw her shoe at him.
Yeah. How's Pete doing, by the way?
He's good. He's
good. Yeah.
You remember
good.
Pete?
Yes. We know your whole family. We've been here for a while.
My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Thank God. He was in the hospital for a little while, man. He almost died, but thank God he came through.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. Thank God. And how's your mom doing?
She's good. She's good. Yeah, he went in for some back pain, and then before you know, he had what's that stuff called, a staph infection or whatever. Yeah, so we had some kind of infection, and then it was like a nightmare. So he was in there for a while, but thank God he came out, and he's doing all right.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's been about a year now, so he's okay now. Less than a year, actually.
Yeah. Does your mom come there often?
My mother loves it here. Yeah, she loves to go downstairs to the beach and relax and do her thing. Yeah, and then I got to take her to the casino. Yeah, this is like she loves it.
Yeah, we heard you're popular. Yeah, we heard you're popular at the casino.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, we heard you're popular at the casino.
No, not at the casino. I don't. I'm not allowed to go to the casino, but I could go. Like I go to the, go to the bars and whatever.
Oh, okay.
No, he's popular at Bahamas, like the
Yeah,
resort.
Bahamar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's popular there.
I mean, I wouldn't say popular there, but I mean, I go there once in a while. I don't go there that much. I go.
So-
I probably go more to Atlantis than I do to Bahamar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, there was a rumor that just came out. We didn't even know it existed, that you are dating Carla from Mob Wives. Have you heard of this rumor?
Carla from Mob Wives.
Yeah, so this is like, you've never even heard of it.
No.
No. Okay. So, well, there we got it. Are you sure, Joe?
He's smirking a little bit.
Like he's dating.
Yeah, I would know.
Are you dating?
Who's Carla from Mob Wives anyway? Which one's Carla? I forget.
She was married to a mob. I don't know though. Her last name is like Facci. I don't know how to pronounce it
or something.
Yeah. And there were rumors that no. Are you dating anybody?
Yeah. 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 But she's not a mob wife though.
No. Okay. Okay. So that rumor. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So we have, a lot of questions. Our listeners have been dying to know this, and we kind of really wanted to start from the beginning. So when Teresa approached you to do the show and you went through with it, did you ever think it was going to blow up the way that it did?
No. I just did it because she kept bothering me about it. So finally I gave in, and I was like, nobody knew what the hell it was back then. I think the only show like that was the California one, and it wasn't even that big back then. You know what I mean? It was just starting, I guess. And yeah, and that's it. So we did it, and here we go.
Yeah.
What is it, like 15 years? I'm deported. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I mean, the show, it is what it is. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it was. I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't watch it. I never watch it. I just see like little clips. I see some cute clips with the kids and this, that, and the other thing. So I never even watched it when I was on it. Except for maybe the table flip you've seen a million times. So I always saw that. I saw the fight with my ex-brother-in-law there a bunch of times because they made so many things out of it. Cartoons and you name it, they made out of that fight. And I always see that pop up. And then a bunch of cute little scenes with Melania when they were kids. I mean, those were all the good scenes, you know what I mean, with the little kids and stuff like that. The Italy trip I see, when once in a while it pops up on TikTok. So I mean, all that stuff is nice, you know what I mean? But
were you? Well, I was going to ask, were you surprised by your popularity, like the fact that you were so popular on the show? Because you didn't try to be popular,
and did not give a shit.
But I tried.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. No.
So were you surprised that you were that popular, that everyone, liked you so much, especially because you didn't try?
I guess. I mean, I don't really know why. I mean, I was not like I was on it that much. You know what I mean?
No, you were.
They would have to force me. They would force me to be on it.
Yeah.
I didn't voluntarily walk in and say, "Okay, film me today."
Right.
I mean? So they had to most of the time. Okay, we got to do this scene. I'm like, oh my god. All right, so we'll just do it and get it over with. And but it takes more time for them to set up the cameras, do this, do that, than to do the scene. Sometimes it's like a little dumb scene. And it's like we just literally went through all that just to do that. Okay, so yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it was it's a housewife show. So, I mean, it's supposed to be for the housewives, not the husbands. You know what I mean? It's like the husbands, okay, they come in, we go out to dinner, have a few drinks, then they stir all the bull BS up, and then, they like to start fights. It's like it seemed like that's all they wanted to do was just start fights on the show. I mean, it's good once in a while to start up a little fight, but I mean, not every scene. What are you going to do?
Right.
Well, let's just put gloves on and just start boxing.
Yeah. Do you ever remember them telling you what to say or what to do?
No, they go around and they say, ask this question about that, ask this question about that, just to stir things up. You know what I mean? That's what the producers do. The producers go around and they just want to stir, they just want to stir things up so that people, so that you just start arguing about something, you start talking about something, which it always ends up in an argument anyway. And that's it, because they always ask you. I mean, sometimes they go a little deep. You know what I mean? Sometimes they, they go and ask, some really inappropriate questions, I should say.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, I don't know. And then it just starts. I guess that's what makes the show. I guess without it, it'd be kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
Anything good they don't want to film. Like, if anything, how many good scenes we had where they didn't air. You know what I mean? Like fun scenes that were like really good, and they never aired. You know what I mean? But like most of the BS they would air. You know what I mean? Any BS that they could catch, they'll air.
Do you ever recall, or do they ever ask your family to go on the show? Like any of your brother, anybody from your side to audition or come on the show, like to like actually be on it?
Yeah, they were. They did actually. My brothers, they did. All right. But my brother wouldn't go against me, you know what I mean, to do that stuff like that. So they weren't interested, you know what I mean? So when they, or they go against, Teresa, stuff like that. So they didn't want to do that. But, I guess when they approached Joe and, Teresa's side of the family, they were all gung ho, you know what I mean, ready to go and do whatever, you know what I mean, whatever it took, to make that extra buck. So even if it was, to slander his sister or slander whatever, I mean, they didn't care. I mean, obviously they said the worst of the worst on the show, and pretty much they were kind of like, it was a little low what they would do, you know what I mean, on the show, things that they would say to Teresa, you know what I mean, especially when she started the show, you know what I mean? It's like, you want to come on and you want to say like the dumbest things, or like, call her whatever and say this and say that about her, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, even talking about, like, I remember like the one scene where I guess her cousin was talking about leaving Adriana or something like that, which was total BS, and stuff like that, like dumb things like that. Like nothing was actual true. All right, this is Gabriella. Hold on one second. I got to answer. Gabriella calls. I got to answer.
Where's the Michigan girls?
Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway.
She hung up?
No. I guess they called it message, so she'll call it. Hold on. Who the hell's that? That's one ugly dude.
It's her boyfriend.
Gabriella likes to play games. Look at this. Oh, look who she has on the phone.
Oh my God. He's trying to prank you right now.
That's really cute.
Huh?
Hi, Gabriella.
That's a TikTok trend. Did you know that?
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes, it's a TikTok trend where you're like, you're supposed to get scared. Yeah.
Gabriella, is that your new boyfriend?
He didn't even care.
Gabriella.
Who are you on the phone with? Why do they know it's a TikTok trend?
I'm sorry. Tell her it's Teresa's friend, Roxanne. Hi, Gabriella. Hi. Of course we know that trend.
No, they actually have me on their podcast, and I was like, I got to answer the phone. When Gabriella calls, I always answer. So, what is that? I thought that was your new boyfriend or something.
You're gonna cut this.
Well, like, have somebody call
No, it's
them,
funny.
and then that is on the screen.
Oh, okay. Is that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
It is. You're supposed to be scared. Like, where's your daughter? Why does this man have her phone?
Oh, okay.
That's what it's supposed to be like. Wait, I played many tricks, so he would believe me.
Well, yeah, my daughter now, she's a big trickster. You know what I mean? So she's always playing.
I would feel like that's Melania and not her.
No. Now Gabriella came. Now Gabriella came out of the bag. Now that's it. Now she's all about tricks and that's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you doing,
All right.
honey?
Well, you finish your podcast. Love you.
All right, I love you more.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Yeah, she likes to play tricks now.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
The one day I was I was sleeping and they scared me when I was on the couch and did something. I don't know what the hell they did. They did something. I was literally taking a hard nap and they like came and like really scared me with like somebody screaming or something like that. And I got up. I'm like, and then the speaker was like right there, so I just took the speaker and I just put it on the table. I was very calm and just, that was it.
Yeah.
So they like to play a lot of tricks. Anyway,
I love that you have all girls because your girls are always going to take care of you.
Yeah. No, my girls are great.
Yeah.
They're all great. Actually, every one of them. Gia just called me a little while ago. She's somewhere in, she's in Rome actually today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
So, yeah,
They're
she's
living
in
their
Rome
best life.
today. Huh?
I said they're living their best life.
Yeah, well, she's actually doing some work. I don't know. She's got a job doing something out there, doing whatever. So it's a good job she has. They
That's
have her
amazing.
doing all these different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what we were saying was, she was asking you about if they reached out to your brother, and you were talking about that. When they did reach out to your brother to interview him, did they say things to him like, "Are you in a good terms with your brother? Have you fought with Teresa?" Like, did they ask those type of questions to him?
well, yeah, that's what they ask, and I just want to know if if they would start and make do whatever and start trouble and go against your brother or go against Teresa. So my brother was like, no, I don't do that. You know what I mean? And that was that. They weren't interested. So
Yeah.
I guess when they approached, Kathy and I guess Joe and whatever, Joe was trying to get on the show since day one,
Right.
with Melissa. So and then they finally squeezed in there. But I don't know. I just don't like the way they are. You know what I mean on the show. I mean the way they act. I mean the way he acts towards his sister. Forget about Richie and the other ones over there. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, Joe acting that way towards his sister. I mean, like, what kind of, just like you got kids, right? So, I mean, these are your nieces. You know what I mean? You're talking to, your niece's mother, your sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you also got kids. So, I mean, what kind of parent are you being the way you are? Doing all that crap on TV, and it's not like he even it's like fake, you know what I mean? The guy's actually serious. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like, what kind of what are you trying to is that something that you want your kids to do to their brother or their sister, growing up? I mean, what kind of example are you being, in front of your kids? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? No matter what they would pay me, I wouldn't do that. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, and tell you the truth, I think he looks like an ass doing it, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, you seem shocked by his behavior. Like when you watch back, you seem confused watching him and the way he acted. I don't know if you remember, there was like a scene where he invites your former CPA, or I don't know who it was, something about your financial guy who knew about like your furniture stuff, and he invites him over for dinner. And did you not know those things were happening, that he was doing things like that?
Well, listen, he was definitely talking to the feds with my ex-partner. Okay. And my ex-partner, big loser. All right. My ex-brother-in-law, big loser for doing that. I really don't care if I talk or see him, it doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the day, to do something like that, you got to be a real low life. You know what I mean? You really got to be a low life. I mean, who does that? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, he did it. And you know what? His wife was involved as well, even though she played in the shadows and did whatever. But she was always there. And I'm sure they always talked about whatever they talked about in front of the cameras. And I'm sure the cameras just aired whatever they wanted to air. But I'm sure they talked about a lot more than what they aired. You know what I mean? So they would just air like certain things, like, my ex-partner's attorney that came in, that one day in Melissa's party, and just stuff like that. I mean, that's, things that you don't do. You know what I mean? That's crossing the line. You know what I mean?
Or the brother-in-law coming for you. Like twice. You probably forgot about this.
Melissa's brother-in-law.
Melissa's brother-in-law, like trying to boss up to you twice. It was so awkward to watch. He like was like Melissa's brother-in-law. I forgot his name. It was like I think it was either at least
Joe,
like that.
He's another loser. All right, please. It's like I would like kill him with my pinky.
Yeah.
It's like, did I even? And the only reason why I never really actually did anything like seriously on the show because they would have pressed charges on me. You know what I mean? I could have easily just beat up anybody on that show right away. You know what I mean? Or just hurt them. And what's the point? I mean, I'm like just looking at these people like, they definitely have issues. They got, big problems and that's it. I mean, at the time, the brother-in-law was having big money issues, you know what I mean? And I gave him work and he got paid, you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell he was like. He said that I owed him $1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
Something stupid, you know what I mean? I'm like, really? I'm like, I owed you $1,000. I just gave you like, I don't know how much work. I think I gave him like $40,000 worth of work. You know what I mean? He's saying I owe him $1,000. You know what I mean? I'm like, this kid's a loser. So I just ignored him. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, you know what? That whole side of the family over there is kind of, I don't want to like belittle them, but I mean, they're not a very high class.
They talk about your family. They talk about your family all the time. They like horrible tweets about your, ex-wife, your kids. So, I mean, they do all those type of things. Were they like that with you before though? Like, were they before Melissa and Joe came on the show, was her family thirsty like that towards you guys where they look down on you or try to bring you down?
No. They kissed my ass before that.
Yeah.
No, they used to kiss my ass before that. I mean, they were always very nice, you know what I mean? Did whatever, you know what I mean? I wasn't that close to them. I only seen them once in a while, but I mean, the times that I did see them, they weren't like that, you know what I mean? But on the show, they just started coming out with all this BS, just whatever Bravo would ask them to do, the producers, and they would come on and they would say whatever, you know what I mean? He kind of looked like a friggin' derelict saying it anyway. I mean, he looked like a moron.
Right.
So I would just
everyone knew that.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a total moron. You know what I mean? It's like one thing about me, I never owe anybody a dime. I never owed anybody a dime. I always paid everybody. All right, and anybody could say that. I don't owe anybody a damn dime. All right.
Right.
My ex-partner, we made millions together. All right, that loser. Okay, we made millions together, and then when everything went bad in 2008, all right, we had a few buildings together, and that I had to refinance, and that I dumped a lot of money into, and he needed money, and it was over $250,000. It wasn't a lot of money. You know what I mean? Oh, well, he was dying. He was this, that, and that. I'm like, look, Joe, when I'm done, refinance, and I pay you whatever's left, out of the refi, I'll pay you. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. All this, right? He was just losing it because he was broke. Okay, so he goes, I'm going to the feds. He goes to the feds over $250,000. Goes there and tells them all this BS, and that's how the feds work. You know what I mean? So now, meanwhile, he literally he owed the government money for like I don't know how many years. So for 10 years, he avoided the government because after 10 years, I believe whatever you owe him on some kind of tax, whatever thing, it goes away. That's what he says. Right? I don't know. So he avoided him for 10 years. He worked under another guy's license, him as a broker, put all kinds of money through his nieces and mother and this, that, and the other thing. And that's how he got by. All right. So he did like everything illegal. All right. And I mean, you name it in real estate, he did illegal. He didn't do not one thing that was straight. But they didn't care about him. All right. They cared about Teresa and they cared about me. All right. And then they had Joe Gorga go in and help. And I know with that for a fact that he went and talked to the feds because an ex-federal agent told me that he talked to the feds. All right.
An agent told you that? An agent told you that.
Agent.
Wow.
An ex-federal agent. Yeah, all right.
Disgusting.
Told me that he definitely went to the feds and he was talking to them and doing whatever he had to do. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, which he's a total moron, my ex-brother-in-law as well, because all I did was help that piece of crap. All right. And taught him everything that he's doing now. You know what I mean? And also things that I gave him. All right, you know how much he owes me a lot of money. That freaking loser. All right. So anyway, make a long story short, I don't even want to talk about him because he's not even worth it. All right, but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, he's not even worth it. All right, at the end of the day, he went to the feds. My ex-partner went to the feds. My ex-partner's lawyer went to the feds. I set up the appointment to go to the feds, and of course, as soon as they heard our names, you know, they were interested. All right, for 25 years, I was in business. They were never interested in me. Okay,
Right.
all of a sudden, now I'm on the show. All right, they're interested in me. So, I mean, I made all the money and did everything way before the stupid show. You know what I mean? The stupid show made me lose money, if anything. I didn't make no money on the show, that's for sure. So, you know, as a matter of fact, when I had all, you know, because I had over like 350 units, you know what I mean, rentals that I had at the time. And I don't know how many lots and building homes all the time and selling homes. And that's what I did. And when the tenants knew that I was on the show, all right, I had lawsuits coming out from everywhere. You know, all of these tenants who tripped on a sidewalk, who did this, who did that, who fell down, or the door slammed their finger in the door. All this stupid crap. That's never happened before in my whole entire life owning buildings and doing rentals and renovations. That's never happened that anybody tried to sue me ever.
Right.
And it was the craziest thing. And all this shit was happening. I literally had to, like, you know, detain 5,000 here, 5,000 there, 5,000 here, 5,000 there. You know what I mean? For these people trying to sue. Otherwise, they'll get the lawsuit. If they're suing for $100,000, you got to pay them. So if you don't get a lawyer and you defend yourself, you get a judgment on you. So that's what I had to deal with during that show. All right. So it was nothing but a pain in the ass. And yeah, it was a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? But whatever, it is what it is.
Well, Teresa, she went on Caroline Stanberry's podcast. It was a great episode. She talked about this. She said that she signed off on one property. She had an 800 credit score. She said because you were her husband, you asked her to sign just one thing, and she did it, and that's why she went.
Let me explain that real quick. That's very simple. Yeah. Anyway, it was like she doesn't really know about real estate too well. You know what I mean? She understands a little bit, but not a lot. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit that from what papers. She would just sign papers. You know, she signed actually one paper, and when we bought our house, I think not even. I think the house was in my name too, so I don't even think she even signed that. But a long time ago, you know, because we were married almost 20 years or whatever before we got divorced. So maybe, I don't know, 18 years ago. I don't freaking know. It was so long ago. Yeah. All right. I bought a house cash. You know what I mean? Whatever the price was on it, was cheap, whatever it was, 35, 40,000, whatever it was, in Patterson, New Jersey. And I renovated it. I refinanced it, and I refinanced it in her name because I already had so many properties in my name. Yeah. You know what I mean? That we could have got more money out by putting it in her name because she had a better FICO score. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. Nothing wrong. You know what I mean? We did nothing wrong. She signed, you know what I mean? We did it, and the loan went through right away. So I took my money out. Maybe a year, 2 years later, when the market got better, or whatever it was, somebody made us an offer. We sold it. You know what I mean? No harm done. Yeah. You know, and that's what she got in trouble for. All right, for doing absolutely nothing. All right. Yeah. So when the feds come knocking, basically, you know what the deal was. All right, the deal wasn't that, you know, she went to jail. That was not the deal. That was not the plea. All right. The plea was that I went to jail. She stayed home with the kids. Okay. And that I had to pay $1.5 million for absolutely no reason. All right. So I was fighting that for a while, the $1.5 million. I'm like, you're out of your freaking minds. I ain't paying you $1.5 million for what? You know what I mean? I don't owe you. I don't owe you any money. So what the hell am I going to pay you $1 million for? All right. Well, this is the deal. Take it or leave it. And this is what they do with the feds. They don't, you know, they don't give a shit. You know, they just don't give a shit. So, or you go to trial. You know, you go to trial, and more than likely you're going to lose and spend another $1 million on lawyers, and it's going to prolong for another who knows how damn long. So, and at the time we had Fabulous Bar. We had 1 million bars waiting outside the ShopRite bar. You know, ShopRite's, they're ready to go in. Till after, you know, the court date that day. The literally the guy had $1 million worth of bars. All right. He had we had the spaghetti line, we had or the pasta line, we had the desserts, we had the Fabellini starting to go into Texas. We had a shipment going into Texas. We had all kinds of things everywhere. We had it in New Jersey already. It was going into New York. All right. It was really it was starting to like, spread around. So all of our deals that we had going on, they were like, listen, just take the plea. Don't worry about the $1.5 million. It's nothing. You'll make that in a day. With all these deals you got going on. So I was like, all right, screw it. She's like, when you get out, at least you'll be fine. So we went to court, and then the judge decided to indict Teresa and put her in jail. As soon as that happened, that was it. All our deals were gone. And it was over nonsense. I mean, it was stupid. I mean, I don't even know what the hell she was talking about. What she was even saying all day. You know what I mean? I had a headache by the time I left that place. My neck was like this, listening to her. You know what I mean? All day. And she started talking about Jimmy Choo shoes. I'm like, fuck her, Jimmy Choo shoes. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the fuck these things are. You know what I mean? I'm listening to her. Yeah, and I'm like listening to this judge, and I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? You know what I mean? I'm like just listening all day, listening to this fucking nonsense. And then at the end, she got sentenced to a year. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? All right. So anyway, that was that. I mean, our lawyers fucking sucked. I got to say. And we had so many fucking lawyers. We had lawyers from this lawyer, that lawyer, but I did make a deal. I mean, it wasn't supposed to happen. You know what I mean? The deal was, the plea was done. And I took the plea and, and that was it. She wasn't supposed to go to jail. And I don't know what the hell made the judge send her to jail for absolutely no reason. Take her away from 4 kids, which was horrible. And I don't even know. I still don't know why. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And, it's in the past. But I mean, and that was that. So, and she never really understood why we had to pay this money. I was like, well, that's why we had to pay this money. All right. Because of the deal we made. You know what I mean? So you weren't supposed to go to jail. If you wouldn't have went to jail, that $1.5 million wouldn't have meant anything. You know what I mean? It would have just been a fucking penny in a jar. You know what I mean? And that's it. So, and that's the story with that. You know what I mean? And then, she went away, and all kinds of bullshit happened, and that was it.
So a lot of people were asking us to ask you about Rich Wakile. Rich came to the Bahamas, I think, and he saw you. And we just need to know what he said to you, because you guys were not speaking at that time.
Rich Wakile came here to the Bahamas, all right, while my daughters were here, okay? I think Gabriella was here, or I'm not sure, I forget. Yeah, I think Gabriella was here with her friends, yeah. So when Rich Wakile shows up, because my friend Alex was coming by, he brings Rich Wakile here out of the blue.
Yeah.
All right. And I was shocked when he walked in. All right. I was like, all right, what do I do? Throw him out, or
right.
I don't know. So then my ex finds out that he's here, and she's flipping out. Every minute my phone texts, get him the fuck out of the house. Get him out of the house. Get that asshole out of the house. This and that and the other thing. And Gabriella's pissed. She doesn't want to say. I'm like, Trey, I mean, the freaking guy is here now. What do you want me to do? But he ends up spending a night in my house. Then the next day he had to get a room. I mean, I had one room open for Alex. The other 2 rooms up here, were for my daughters or whatever, and their friends or whoever was here. So I had one extra room downstairs, because I got a 4-bedroom, and and that was it. I mean, he just showed up like out of the blue. I would never do that.
Right. But what did he tell you? Like, he came on a show behind your guys' back. He sided with your brother-in-law. Like, did he apologize to you?
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he apologized. He goes, listen, man, I'm sorry about forget it. I always whatever. I didn't want to give me a hug. I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean? So, you have to take it for what it is. I don't know what can I tell you. And then she's like, get that fucking scumbag out of the house. Well, he's calling, did this, did that. And I said, Trey, this is your fucking cousin,
Right.
not my cousin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't even know why he's here. And then my friend Alex was getting a lot of shit. He's like, well, I didn't know. Listen, I didn't know. He said he wanted to surprise you. Like surprise me. I was like, yeah, it was a surprise, all right. But yeah, it was just a crazy odd feel. And then another time when I ran into Joe Gorga,
we saw
in the
that.
Bahamas, you know what I mean? I was actually just going there to meet somebody real quick, and then I was leaving. I wasn't even going there to stay. So I happened to go to that bar because I was meeting somebody, and he happened to just be walking in. And right away he comes up, and then some idiot's filming. I don't know who's filming it, right? Whatever. And he's hugging me like we're best friends. And every minute that he's hugging, I'm like, hey, what's going on? I was like, you know what? You're still an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm telling him in his ear the whole time he's an asshole. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, our fathers, blah, blah, this. I'm like, Joe, you're still an asshole no matter what our fathers were. You know what I mean? And he's going, oh, they're gone now, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to change the subject the whole time. That's the way he is. So I'm like looking at him and I'm like, this kid's so stupid. You know what I mean? But anyway, he was there for maybe not even, I would say the whole time, maybe 2-3 minutes. You know what I mean? And then he left because some other girls were coming in from the wedding that didn't like Melissa. And they didn't want any trouble, so they boogied. And that was it. I forget her name. Yes. Okay. It was this guy, Franco, that Melissa used to date. Okay. Oh. She used to date this guy, Franco, back in the day before Joe started dating her. Okay. She was dating this guy, Franco. That was Joe's best friend, and they were partners at the time. And then somehow, they were at she worked at a strip club, Melissa. You know what I mean? And I forget where the hell it was over there. Anyway, my friend Chris used to go to the strip club. And I used to go with him too sometimes. You know what I mean? And you know what? Teresa never gave a shit. She didn't care if I went to a strip club or not. And so basically, I used to go to the strip club with him. One night, Joe Gorga was there with this guy, Franco. Melissa was working, and I believe dating Franco. So I guess Chris probably knew Melissa from going there a lot, and just knew her from the go-go bar. And this guy Franco was like acting like a big shot that he acts like, but he was acting like a big shot with the wrong guy. All right, so now he was acting like a big shot, and my friend Chris doesn't play. You know what I mean? So now he's, he doesn't give a shit. Chris is not he had plenty of money and did whatever. You know what I mean? So now this kid, he was actually my partner at the time. We were buying and selling a lot of homes. So they had some paving or some kind of landscaping business, whatever the hell they were doing, right? So this guy Franco would act like a big shot, with money and doing, they always throw money, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know what he said. He disrespected him in the place, right? And when they got outside, they were in Joe Gorga's Mercedes, and this kid Franco was driving Joe Gorga's Mercedes at the time. So the kid hops in the car because he knew this kid Chris was going after, my friend Chris, and he hops in the car and closes the window, locks the door, whatever, So he's telling him to get out of the car, all right? And he's not getting out of the car. And Joe's over there trying to calm him down. You know what I mean? Joe's like, please, Chris, whatever. Right? Yeah. And my friend Chris is a big kid. He was like the number one draft for, in Rutgers for NFL football. You know what I mean? Wow. So he was a big kid, and he was tough too. So now this kid doesn't want to get out of the car. What does he do? He punches through the window and grabs him and pulls him out of the car. All right. So then he pulls him out of the car. I think he punches him like 2 or 3 times in the face, and Joe Gorga is trying to like calm him down. So Chris kind of grabs him by his head and like pushes him away. You know what I mean? So now Joe Gorga's calling me the next day, Chris just broke my window. The window's $2,000. He's crying, right? And I'm like, what do you mean he broke your window, right? And then he goes, yeah, he broke my window. He's crying about it, this, that, and the other thing, right, the whole time. It's not right. So then Chris tells me the whole story. And I'm like, well, Joe, you didn't tell me the story the way it was. You know what I mean? Well, your idiot Frank, the guy Frank disrespected him in a go-go bar over there. And he broke the window and he deserved what he got. Yeah, but why do you have to break my window? Ooh, he's crying about it, right? So I'm like, Chris, just pay that moron to win. He's like, Joe, he goes, if it wasn't for you, I would have beat the shit out of Joe too. Right?
Oh my God.
So I was like, so he goes, the only reason why I didn't beat the shit out of Joe is because of you. So I was like, Joe, you're lucky you didn't get a beating too. I go, why don't you just go fix the window and shut up, right? Like, oh, come on, that ain't right. He keeps crying about this $2,000 window, right? I guess he didn't have the money to fix it or whatever. I don't know. So Chris finally does something and pays for the damn thing, right? And he goes, Joe, if it wasn't for you, I swear to God, he goes, this kid would get nothing. He would get nothing but a smack and a punch just like I did to the other guy, right? And then I was like, Chris, thanks, man. You know what I mean? So
let it happen.
Yeah,
Kidding.
but this guy, Franco, used to date Melissa.
Okay.
And, after that, Joe stole this girl from Franco. And to make a long story short, the guy Franco's wife that doesn't like Melissa was at the Bahamas that was coming into the room to say something. I forget her name. I probably know who she is. I forget that.
Isn't it Caroline? I thought it was Caroline.
Yeah, there you go. Caroline. Yeah, you know. So Caroline was coming into the bar and she ran out because, Caroline was going to start with her for whatever reason. And that was it. So they were in there for literally like 2 or 3 minutes. Otherwise, I would have started getting on him about a bunch of shit, Joe Gorga. But I didn't have enough time. And to tell you the truth, he's not even worth my time to even get into bullshit with him because, I mean, he's so stupid. And you know what? I'll tell you the truth, if I didn't know him, not that it means anything, but he's still a douche. You know what I mean? No matter what, he's still a douchebag. Just for like everything in general. You know what I mean? He was never really a good guy. And listen, he's a douche. I mean, let him live his life. It is what it is. I mean, I don't really care. Let him have fun with his, whatever he does. And, that's it. I mean, I don't know. I heard he's a comedian now and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought he was real funny, but.
Yeah. Well, I was no, I don't think he's funny at all. But we think, sometimes people do things for money. So
yeah. I mean, I heard he's a comedian, and then and then this whole sprinkle cookie thing. I mean, I don't know. That's so stupid. I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, do people really like sprinkle cookies? I mean, come here, break. I mean, in general, do you really like any fucking cookie? I mean, come on, who gives a shit about a cookie?
Right. Yeah.
Me personally, I could care less about cookies. You know what I mean? If it was for me, all cookies would be out of business.
Yeah.
I don't eat cookies. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, this whole sprinkle cookie thing is like just so stupid.
Well, I was going to ask you though, because you kind of just brought it up. A lot of our listeners said season 4 reunion, you're going to forget this, but you kept saying like, Joe, tell us where you really met Melissa. You alluded to this multiple times. Where did Joe meet Melissa? What were you insinuating back then? Was it at that go-go bar?
The go-go bar, yeah. What do you think they met?
Okay. So
they met in a go-go bar. This is the whole story I just told you. And this is how I started seeing Melissa after the fact through this guy, Franco. All right. Yeah. So Franco was dating her, but I never saw her with Franco.
Right.
Franco was dating her for a while from the go-go bar. And then because he probably used to throw money all over her. And then she started dating Joe. I guess Joe threw more dollars at her. I don't know.
Well, okay, so when Joe came
started throwing $5 bills at her.
Yeah. Well, when Joe came on the show, he blamed you for his relationship.
He's like,
yeah. So when he came on the show, he blamed you for his relationship with his father. He always painted you in a bad light. He's done the same with Teresa's husband, now Louis. Why do you think that he blamed you for how things were with his dad? Was there any truth to it?
Listen, the guy, I told you the guy's got something wrong with him. All right. He definitely has got something wrong with him. I mean, I don't know what it is, and that's why a lot of times I don't say anything because there's definitely something wrong with him. He's not normal, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know his father my whole life. Okay. His father, my father lived in Italy together before he was even a thought. Okay. When they came to America, okay, my father drove his father to the hospital when Teresa was born. Okay.
Wow.
So I know these two since they were like born. You know what I mean? So we were always together, even little kids growing up, playing house, doing whatever. That's what we did. You know what I mean? So we were together all the time. You know what I mean? Her mother, my mother used to hang out all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got along with the father. Why wouldn't I get along with him?
Right.
You know what I mean? This little douchebag, he literally, when he got married to Melissa, all right, it was like almost he had a waiting thing to go see them, you know, go see the kids or whatever. You know what I mean? Like every 2 weeks, maybe they would invite him. You know what I mean? Then as soon as they would invite him, right away the mother and father would go see the kids, and obviously spend some time with, you know, with Joe or whatever. You know, this kid was like, "Oh, I just work all the time. I work all the time." The fuck out of here! Everybody works. You know what I mean? He was just an idiot. You know what I mean? And he did that all the time. But if he needed something, no, he would go to the parents. You know what I mean? Whatever he needed. You know what I mean? After he, like, and I'll tell it the way it is. After he sucked them dry, and you know, the parents did give him everything. You know what I mean? They didn't give it to Teresa. They gave it all to him. And the father actually did pretty well for himself. You know what I mean? He did. And he took it all, that little wiener that he is.
Well, I think it's just because like he was jealous or he saw the relationship maybe he wanted and he just didn't know how to do it. So then he just kept blaming you for his failed relationship with his dad.
Well, his failed relationship with his dad was because of him, not because of me. All right. If he would have invited his dad to his house every day, his dad would have went. You know, his dad actually would have made time to go to both houses, I'm sure, every day. Because every day they would come to the house and like clockwork at like 2, 3 o'clock, you know what I mean? Start cooking for the kids and whatever, you know what I mean? And the kids were always used to, you know, eating as soon as they got home because of the grandparents being there, you know, as soon as they got home from school, whatever. And that was like forever. I mean, they were literally at my house all the time. Why do you think when my mother-in-law passed, my father-in-law went and lived with Teresa? Because that's where he was all the time.
Yeah.
He obviously wouldn't have felt comfortable going to live with his son because he was never there. You know what I mean? And probably wouldn't have felt comfortable there. Not saying that he didn't want to see the kids. You know what I mean? His you know,
Grandkids. Yep.
And but they just never invited him. You know what I mean? And he just, whenever they did invite him, then he would go. Like once in a while, they would invite him down the shore. You know what I mean, or whatever, but not often. You know what I mean? It wasn't often. It was like once in a while. So, I mean, really, they were always with us. You know what I mean? If we went on vacation, I would pay for them and they would come with us on vacation. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. You know, wherever we went, they came.
Is
But
it true?
when they went away, they never took them on vacation, though. You know, they would want them to maybe watch their kids while they went on vacation, but it's not like they took them on vacation with them.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And you know, Nonno seems sensitive. Like we would see on the show him complain about that stuff. He seemed very sensitive about that.
Well, of course it would hurt him. You know what I mean? It's his son. You know what I mean? He wanted to see his grandkids. I mean, it's not like he didn't want to see his grandkids. You know what I mean? It's just like he loved, you know, my daughters. He, you know, loved those kids as well. You know what I mean? I mean, tell you the truth, I haven't seen those kids in the longest time. I mean, I see them a little bit now. I see Antonia on TikTok once in a while. You know what I mean? But you know, she grew up to be a pretty girl. I mean, I hope that she doesn't grow up to be like her mom. But no, I'm only kidding. But that's the end of the. No, I mean, listen, I hate to say that because that's not nice.
That's the saddest part of them all is that, like, you know, the kids and then even the cousins, like, you know, your girls are so close with your nieces. They're like super close with them. And it's like you would think that they could try to
look,
maintain.
You want to set an example for the kids to, you know, be together. You know what I mean? Not separate them the way they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They pretty much separated them to where now they don't talk, they don't do nothing because the mother's so evil that she separates them. You know, I don't know if he's the one or she's the one, but it doesn't make a difference because if it was me there, that wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? If I was, their parents, you know what I mean? If I was, let's just say Melissa and Joe, they got them now. But I'm just saying, if I was, that would never happen. I would never let, blood be a part like that. You know what I mean? Because obviously my kids have Gorga blood in them. And unfortunately, they got to have some of the uncle's blood in them. You know what I mean? Thank God they don't take after them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Teresa's a good mom. She's a good person. She's nothing like Joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's just crazy the way the kid is, and I mean, it's not a good example you're setting for your kids. You know what I mean? Because not in my opinion, but who am I to tell them what to do? I mean, they could raise their kids any way they want.
Well,
And I don't think those kids. And even when and I talk to my daughters, I'm like, "Do you ever see them?" And they're like, "I see them once," and I'm like, "Well, how are they towards you when you see them?" They're like, "Oh, they're happy. They come." And then it's like they see their mother and they kind of oh, they just leave. You know what I mean? Which is weird. You know what I mean? It's it's weird. So I'm like, well, that's not good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And meanwhile,
involved.
huh?
The kids shouldn't get involved.
No, they shouldn't get involved. And truthfully, they should tell the kids to be involved with their cousins. You know what I mean? And talk to them. Because Melania and Antonia were inseparable when they were little. You know what I mean? They used to always hang out. And then I don't know what happened. I always ask Melania, I'm like, Melania, what happened? I go, why doesn't, why don't you never talk? Well, what's going on? She's like, I don't know what happened. I go, she doesn't call me, I don't call her. And, and that's the way it is. You know what I mean? Then, and she's like, I kind of feel weird calling anyway after, the way Joe treats mom and Melissa treats mom. So it's kind of causes a conflict between the relationships and everything else. So
well, and it's not just they've publicly come out and spoken about your daughters multiple times. They said that they are the reason that your daughters have food on their table. They called Gia a liar at the reunion.
Joe Gorga, kiss my ass. All right, that guy has got food on his plate because of me. Not because he put food on my table. He would always come and eat at my house every freaking weekend, loser. Yeah. All right, and Melissa. All right, every weekend they were eating at my house and drinking my wine. All right.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'll even tell it. They used to walk in and never bring anything, not even sprinkle cookies. All right, they would just walk in. Every time I went to their house, I'd bring gallons of wine. All right, I don't walk into people's houses empty-handed.
Right.
They got no
class.
Yeah. Did Joe really lose his parents' house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was true. Everyone keeps asking us. They're like, could he finally
and that was where my father-in-law put a lot of money into it. He put a lot of his money because he sold his house in Patterson at the time for I think almost maybe 500,000 cash. Then you know what I mean. He didn't have a mortgage on it or anything, and then plus he had, being a shoemaker, he probably had about 600,000-700,000 cash stashed away. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I mean, the guy had some money. You know what I mean? And he worked and he saved. He lived a nice life. Comfortable life. And him and my mother-in-law, they did what they had to do, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he gave it to her. He gave it to his son because his son would always get into a rut. You know what I mean? And whatever, and his father would bail him out. You know what I mean? And he never paid him back.
Wow. That's
if I ever borrowed money from my father, when I borrowed money from my father, listen, everybody gets in a rut once in a while.
Yeah.
And I go to my father, I need 150,000. All right. Or I need 200,000. I need 300,000. He'd give it to me. But let me tell you something. If I didn't give it back to him, he'd be all over my shit.
Right.
All right. Yeah. And he's giving shit to my brother. He's giving money to my brother. Never got it back. My sister. And I don't care. That's fine. You know what I mean? Because I had it, and you know what I mean? I didn't care about it. And he knew I didn't need it. You know what I mean? That's why he wanted me to give it back to him. You know what I mean? But he's given me everything when I was younger. I mean, when I was younger, growing up, he taught me a trade. He taught me what I need to know. He taught me who to be today. He made me the man I am. So I'm grateful for all that. And he gave me whatever I wanted. I mean, when I was younger, I can't say anything. I mean, he was tough. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't work with him. He was very hard to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was a very tough Italian guy. You know what I mean? And he wanted things done one way, and if you didn't do it his way, it was no way. You know what I mean? So you had to do everything his way. And I grew up. Let me tell you something. With a wooden spoon, my mother. You know what I mean? With her spoon, her shoes. They were tough. And Teresa and Joe too. You know what I mean? But Joe, not so much. I think Teresa got a lot more beatings than Joe.
Wow.
And
Always the
Joe would
first
always,
one.
Joe would like do things and run and hide, but Teresa would always get her hair pulled by her mother and whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But I got so many wooden spoons broken over me. Forget about my mother. But my father too. My father used to kick my ass when I used to do things that that weren't right, and I deserved them. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's fine. But when it came down, when it was my I turned 17, brand new car. You know what I mean? Whatever. Everything. You know what I mean? Whatever car I wanted. He actually wanted me to get this Porsche. Remember when Scarface came out? The same Porsche Scarface had.
Oh wow, that's fancy.
Yeah, he wanted me to get that Porsche. You know what I mean? He's like, get this car over here. That way, once in a while, I could take my girlfriend out, kidding around. Probably did have a girlfriend. No.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dying.
You Italians, you guys are crazy. I can't.
Your mom
So he would bust my chops, but at the time when I was dating some girl, her brother had this Thunderbird Turbo that I liked, and I got the newer one, and I should have got the Porsche though, but anyway.
Right. Okay. Just so you know, everyone keeps asking us this: who was on the phone in Napa? Who was truly on the phone in Napa?
On the phone in Napa?
Yeah.
At the time, my friend Albie was on the phone. All right, and there was a flood over there. I was stressed. I had just opened up the pizzeria then and the laundromat, and there was a big flood that time. I don't know if you remember or not, but there was a big flood in Jersey, and the basement was flooded. Nothing was working. Things were it was all messed up. So, and I was stuck over there. We were drunk, and I should have never said that word. Okay, yeah. I regret saying that word. I never say that word anyway. I really never say that word. So I mean, and I still regret saying that word. And but like I said, I was stressed, and it was like towards the end of the trip. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like
you're over it.
I was so over it. I just was like, and I had to be there because of my, in the beginning it was fun. You know what I mean? We're having fun, going to see all the vineyards. But after a week, you get tired of drinking wine. You know what I mean? So we were drinking wine, and we were just tired. I was tired, and I was a little drunk, and I said that stupid word, and I know it looked like I kind of was talking to a girl, right? It didn't look like I was.
That's what people think, but honestly, I thought you were talking to a dude, and you were just talking shit about your wife. That's what I thought.
I was because I was just so I said I should be there right now. You know what I mean? And doing this and doing that because they didn't know what to do. And I'm like, and I had just opened the place up, not even a month. You know what I mean? And I really didn't even want to go on a trip, but they made me go on. So I had to go. And during that week that we were there, all these floods were going on over there. So it rained nonstop, and it was flooding, and it was a mess, So and I had all these refrigerators down there with food and all this crap. Yeah. And the basement was filling with water, and I had no pumps down there to pump the water out. That was the problem. So they were trying to get pumps down there, and they didn't know how to do it, and they were messing up, beep. I was like, oh my God! I'm like, you guys can't do anything. So I was stressed.
Yeah,
it was like that. It was just a shit show, and that was it. But it was almost I think we were leaving the next day. You know what I mean? So we just had to play out that last day, and and then that word came out. But that's it.
What do you think about? Well, I was going to ask on that trip, Caroline.
It still has everybody wondering, right?
Yeah. That was our most requested question. I was scared to ask you. I'm kind of nervous to ask.
How many years that and people are still asking.
Right.
People are always so curious.
Yes. So I'm glad that you clarified that. But
and something, and even if it was a girl, the one thing that you got to always deny, all right? and never say, all right? Even if it was a girl, all right, that's something that you would never say that you were on the phone with a girl. You know what I mean?
No one's gonna believe your story now.
It's actually like legit. I understand that.
Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, what would you say if you were actually talking to a girl? You're gonna say, yeah, okay, I was talking to a girl. I mean, if you actually were, you know what I mean? But I wasn't. And even if I was, I mean, if I was, you would have heard the girl on the phone. I'm sure. Believe me.
Right. Oh, they would have made sure of it.
You know, it was so stupid. I had the freaking mic on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hot mic moment.
They were probably trying to set you up. And they didn't show her voice.
No,
he didn't show his voice, even though your mic was on.
Definitely did.
Yeah, that's what that looked like.
They did it to where they made it look like I was talking to a girl. And they caught me at the right time. And then my ex comes, remember, and then she jumps on me and whatever, we leave. I mean, obviously, if I was talking to her.
I remember that scene.
You know,
yeah.
But you know what? She's definitely not that. I mean, she's a very good mom, and you know, she's good.
Well, what did you think about Caroline and Jacqueline turning on you? That was like during that trip. Were you shocked when they did that?
You know what? For some reason, that show made a lot of people turn on a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. You know what I mean? I don't know what it did. I don't know if it was money. I mean, I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why. I mean, maybe no show could change me. I mean, no matter what. You know what I mean? They can't change me. You know what I mean? Nothing like that could ever change me. You know, listen, I've always had money. I've always had whatever. I mean, I've never had to, you know, try to be somebody that I'm not. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make sense. Or try to be, I don't know. What is that going to do? Is that going to make people like you more by doing that? I don't know.
Right.
It got them.
That's why I think you're popular.
Yeah.
You're popular because you didn't give a shit what anybody thought about you. You just were your authentic self. You never changed for fame. You didn't give a shit about fame. You didn't even have Twitter. You didn't have Instagram. You had nothing.
I had nothing until I got out of prison.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to work.
So you're like, I need to find a new way.
When I came out of prison, they were like, you need to like get on this and do that and do that. And I'm like, why? They're like, dude, you need to get on it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. You know what I mean? And then I got Instagram. And I mean, it was actually good when I got out, to be honest with you. I used to, I would get like literally like 15, 20 cameos a day at like 150 a pop. That was good money. You know what I mean? I'm making almost $2,000 a day.
Yeah.
You know, literally doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Are you still on Cameo?
Yeah, yeah, he is still on Cameo. My friends and I did one with you, Joe, recently.
Oh, you did? Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was it about, Chantel?
Yeah, that was the story I was telling you, that like they asked about parenting advice, and he said you used to say that like you used to tell your kids like you're gonna bring the nuns on them, like back in the day, like if they were bad, you're like, I'm gonna call the nun, and they would get so scared. Do you remember? Do you remember that?
You know how that story came about, right? Well, I don't know if you know. No, we weren't even filming. No, this was way before the show, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were down the shore, okay? And they used to like fight all the time in the back seat, like little cats and dogs, you know, in the back seat. So they would get like so out of control at times, right? And we were like be on our way to, you know, our friend, you know, our other friend's house down the shore there. And it was like a church or whatever it was, you know. I don't know. So the one day they got me so mad, right? I stopped in front of the church, right? I went and knocked on the door, right? And there was nobody there, but I opened up the door and I made like believe like I was talking to somebody, right? And then I come back, I close the door, and I go over there, open the door. I was like, "Let's go, kids. You're going in here. Now you're going to the nuns, and you're staying here until we're done." All right. And they got so scared. All right, they were literally crying, "No, Daddy, no, please, Daddy." I mean, I felt so bad, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It scared the hell out of them. All right,
yeah,
it literally scared the hell out of them. So now I would do that even at home. I like, don't think they don't have a nun's place over here too. All right. Like, they would all look at me like this. You know what I mean? They would just stop immediately. You know what I mean? They were like so funny.
Yeah.
Roxanne, you need to try that with your kids.
I know, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. So that's good advice. So.
Oh my God. They used to like get so like nuts. I mean, in the back seat. And, like, you know, they would fight over like whatever. Who wanted this? Who wanted that? Then they started hitting each other. They started hitting each other. That was it. I get so mad.
Yeah. Are you working with lawyers to try and fight, come back and come back to the US? Like, we're all dying for you to come back. Are you doing anything behind the scenes?
Well, I mean, I'm trying. You know what? I tried already twice. Twice I got denied already, and it's like a little frustrating. You know what I mean? You get a little frustrated with that crap, you know. And it's like it seems like there's somebody in there that has it out for me still. You know what I mean? I don't know who it is, but I mean, I just feel like there's somebody in there.
You have an eye
for me, and I don't. Huh?
I said you like someone has an eye on you.
Somebody in that whole thing over there, because even when I was in immigration, you know what I mean, and this and that and the other thing, I would see literally guys with gun charges, this, that, and the other thing, just get bailed right out. You know what I mean? So and here I am with a stupid ass, not with, you know, whatever. I mean, what the hell was really my charge? You know what I mean? Mortgage fraud. I mean, that's what they said I got charged with, mortgage fraud, whatever. Listen, when you get charged with mortgage fraud, they always lay those other stupid things in there, you know, wire fraud and, you know, whatever. I don't even know what wire fraud is. I was like, what's wire fraud? All right. So they put all those charges in there. You know, they always add that in there. It's all part of the, the charge.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't understand it. I mean, and even when I was in immigration, which was the worst, you know what I mean? And immigration was the worst. I mean, when I was in there, there was one, the reason why I went to immigration, I stayed in immigration is because I had a pending appeal, you know what I mean, I already appealed it once because they denied me once while I was in federal prison, which I was in an immigration court. So the first time they denied me. I I re-appealed or whatever. I appealed it and I went to court again. So at that time I had to go to immigration, and that was during I believe when did President Trump get out? He got out at 19.
2020?
2019. While I was in prison, that's when Trump came in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I believe when he was like maybe president, or maybe he was president, I forget. Let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. So maybe when I got out, he was already out.
Yeah.
So then I think Obama
was it before COVID? Like, were you in there during COVID?
Yeah.
No.
So
I got out right before COVID. So I think
Obama. It was
Obama.
still him.
So it was Obama, right?
No, it was Trump.
No, it was Trump, yeah.
Was it Trump? Anyway, so when I got out, when I was in immigration, I had a second appeal in there, you know, and all these appeals are all like, you know, 40, 30, 50,000. It was all stupid numbers, you know.
So crazy.
So we lost the second one. And then there was we lost that one. I think we went for the second one. I don't know, whatever it was. Then they wanted me to go to the third one. So I was already in there now 6-7 months. And I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get the hell out of there. I didn't care if they brought me and dropped me off in the middle of the ocean. I just had to get the hell out of there. So now they were like, you can appeal it again. You know, are we going to win this time? I'm like, and this idiot, Jerry Rodriguez, the moronic lawyer that I had, you know, the immigration guy, couldn't even get me in front of a judge.
Oh, wow.
Because for bail. He couldn't even get me in front of a judge for bail. Meanwhile, this African that was in there that stole all kinds of brand new Range Rovers and Mercedes and this and the other thing and shipped them across seas, okay, studied law in there and stayed there because they were going to ship him back to Africa, and stayed in prison and studied law until he actually went back to New York. I got deported. All right. So now, and he represented himself. Okay. So then he got me in front of the judge for bail, and this idiot Jerry Rodriguez, this moron, all right, couldn't get me out because he was such a stuttering prick, all right, that he couldn't talk. All right.
Wow.
When he got in front of a judge, it's like, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean? I'm sitting in the room watching
him.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this moron doing? He can't even talk. You know what I mean?
No, why did you choose him? Like, why did you guys have him as your lawyer?
Because my other idiot lawyer said he was the best around. All right. Anyway,
I feel like those attorneys were trying to sabotage you.
let me tell you something. You know who I'll tell you who's going to go to hell. All right, judges, attorneys, and doctors. Okay, judges because they like to judge you. Attorneys because they lie all the time and take your money. And doctors because they never give you the right medication for the cure because they want you to stay sick so that they can keep giving you the same medicine to make money. All right. So they're all a bunch of liars. So those are the three people that are always going to go to hell. Remember that.
There's
No,
some good. There's always some
no,
good.
no, my
I believe in
husband's an
that.
attorney, but he's a good attorney.
Who's that?
So my
her
husband. But he's a good
listen,
attorney.
I mean, at the end of the day, there are some good attorneys. All right. But for the most part of them, they're not.
Yeah.
And your husband's not dealing with like people. Like he's dealing with like the city. He's fine.
Yeah, so different.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Teresa.
The girl that I'm dating now is an attorney too. So I mean, whatever. The girl that I was dating in Italy was an attorney. Another girl that I was dating when I came to Nassau was an attorney. So it's like I just keep dating attorneys.
Would you still want Gia to become an attorney, or are you happy like kind of the path she's taking now?
You know what? I can't tell her what she's doing. She's doing very well. She's very smart, and she's good at what she does. So I mean, let her keep doing what she's doing. You know
How do you feel about her being on a new reality show? Like, are you nervous for her to kind of do this on her own? Because like she was always doing it with her, like with you guys and her mom.
I haven't watched it. I don't even know what
it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
It's
No,
not
it's not out
yet.
Well,
look, I mean, let her do Gia. You know what I mean? She's good at what she does. She's a good talker. I mean, she's smart, and you know, I'm proud of her. I mean, she's a a very strong kid. You know,
you guys raised you and Teresa raised some smart women. Like your kids, I would be so proud of.
Very, very smart. I mean, you know, Teresa every once in a while goes off with her little BS, you know, saying, "Oh, your father did this, your father did that," and I'm like, telling her, like, Teresa, keep your mouth shut. If you got something to say, you say it away from the kids. Okay?
Yeah.
And then she'll call me like 2 minutes later. Hey, I'm like, Teresa, wait, you already said it in front of the kids. You know,
yeah.
It's like, now you're telling me the same thing.
Yeah.
You already told me what you had to say. Well, whatever.
Well, how do you guys co-parent so well?
Well, you know what? Because you have to, because of the kids. You know what I mean? If you don't do it for the kids, who are you going to do it for? Yourselves? I mean, all right, whatever. We got divorced. Big deal. And everybody gets divorced. It doesn't mean you got to be whatever towards each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have this animosity and you know, because a lot of times people get divorced. They don't know how to co-parent. They don't know how to, you know, with the kids and this and that and the other thing. And the kids grow up all messed up. You know what I mean? It's not right. Not right for the kids. You know what I mean? The kids are already traumatized by the whole situation. And then you got to make it worse by being whatever towards each other. You know what I mean? Fighting, this, that, and the other thing. For what?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You gotta leave the kids alone. You know what I mean?
Your girls, they love Louis. I think you have a great relationship with Louis. Why do you think that your brother's going after Louis just like how he went after you?
Well, if Joe doesn't get something that he wants from you, all right, he's gonna, you know, come at you the way he wants to come at you with, you know, any way he comes at you with. I believe, you know, he knew he couldn't get what he wanted from me. All right. So, or he tried it. I don't know what the hell his deal is. I told you that kid's got a problem. You know what I mean? He's like a little, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He needs to go to like I don't even think a psychiatrist could help him. You know what I mean? So maybe don't both. I don't think anybody could help him. You know what I mean? The kid's just, I don't know. I think the kid just, you know, ran into the door jam too many times when his father would yell at him when he was a kid and hit his head like once too many times and knocked himself out because he's like, I don't know, there's something wrong with him, you know? But at the end of the day, with Louis, I think it was all started from some pizza oven or something like that. Louis put up the money and Joe wanted half. All right. It doesn't work that way. If you don't put up the money, how are you going to get half?
Right.
100%.
If you put 150 or 125,000 in like Louis, you know, and 125 you put in, now you're partners. All right. Louis wanted to give him a little percentage or something like that, and he wasn't happy about it, and he just kept fighting. And then they said, you know what? Louis lost $250,000, and that was it. And they never went ahead with the pizza oven. You know,
It's like the same thing with you. Like they
It's
have
all about money, and it's so
Yeah.
silly.
yeah,
It's always the
he was
money.
just a little money. They should call him the money grub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about writing a book?
Yeah, I mean, people
You
have
should do
asked
that.
me. Yeah. Well, I mean, in the book, it's not like you make money like you used to. Like Teresa made the money, you know what I mean, with the books that she made back then. They paid her a lot up front, you know what I mean? It was good, you know what I mean? They would give her like you know, she made quite a bit of money on these books, you know, back then. Nowadays, they don't pay like that anymore. Now they just want to do a book and then give you whatever you make off of it, you know what I mean, or split whatever the hell you make off of it, because that's just the way they work nowadays. It's not like how it used to be, you know what I mean? Back in the day, they give you a large sum, you know what I mean, in front, and then they give you a little residual at the end, you know what I mean, which was fine.
Right.
So now it works a little different. I mean, I could do it. I mean, I could.
I feel like you have an interesting life. You have
Yeah.
an interesting journey.
Yeah, I definitely have an interesting life.
Do you still talk to Chris Larita?
I haven't talked to him. Actually, my ex asked me about him the other day and said that she would send me his number. I think I spoke to him once or twice on Instagram. Somehow I found him on, you know, like I don't go, you know, I just thank God I got some help now doing it. You know what I mean? Before, you know, I don't have time to go do all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like, I don't mind just filming the things and sending it to somebody and then they fixing it and making it look right. That just takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, and, a lot of work, and I don't have the time for that. You know what I mean?
Well, you're
can't,
famous on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know.
He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you've blown up on TikTok.
Oh yeah, okay, that's
So
good.
that's good. Keep up the videos.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like TikTok. I mean, I go on TikTok. I mean, I don't know half that shit's real or fake or whatever, but
Right.
some interesting stuff on there. You know what I mean? Some of it is real. I mean, a lot of it's a lot of bullshit, but I mean, it's all right. I mean, some of the videos on, I mean, I don't think all of it's bullshit, right?
Right.
No, some of it is for sure real.
Okay, so I have two more questions. I know you're tired tonight, and I wanted to ask,
it's all right,
what was your favorite?
For you, don't worry about it.
Okay, good. We've been waiting on this, so thank you.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
I wanted to charge you $2,500 before I knew who you were.
That's a true story. I swear. He doesn't remember telling me that, but he did tell me that. And I was like, oh, wrong show, Joe.
He probably had someone like reading the DMs. He's like, just tell this person 2,500.
Yeah. You said someone else.
I probably didn't even respond. That probably wasn't me responding to you. It was probably somebody else.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So what was your favorite memory being on the show?
My favorite memory. I guess when we went to Italy, that was a good time. You know what I mean? We had a really, really good time when we went to Italy, and then we went on that cruise ship and did all that. See, some stuff like that was fun, you know, because my father was there, everybody was there, you know what I mean? My mother, the kids were little, they were funny, you know, and it was fun, you know what I mean? And even the Laritas had their parents, you know, on the show, which I think they passed away as well now. And, you know, it's good to see memories like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you guys were making sauce one time, that's like, that always sticks out. Like your family and Teresa's family, guys were all making tomato sauce.
Yeah, that was in the garage.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
funny.
Yeah, that's that was a good time too.
You don't see that like on the shows nowadays. Like that would never happen.
No. I mean, look, those are like fun things, you know what I mean, that you see. And, you know, and I remember when we went to Italy, my grandmother, that's when my father was alive too. And then I went to go visit my grandmother. My grandmother literally had this amazing spread on the table. All right. Amazing spread. I didn't even show it.
Aww. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, that's so sad.
It was like amazing. All right. And they didn't even show it. You know what I mean? They showed us going up by my mother's side of the family over there and eating spaghetti.
Did they
The most
eat?
basic thing.
Did the producers try to eat the food?
Oh yeah, no, they would always
Yeah.
eat. Yeah, they would.
Exactly.
They would eat. I mean,
Losers.
but it was like an amazing, like with everything on it. You know what I mean? You name it, prosciutto, this, that, cheeses. I mean, it was amazing. You know, just the way they laid it out was just amazing. And
Love
yeah, I mean, you know, my grandmother's actually, God bless her, she's still alive. She's 97.
Wow.
Wait, she's young.
97.
Yeah, I mean, oh wait, no, yeah, never mind. She's not
How
young.
is she young?
Well, because
Yeah,
our
my
grandma said, you're
my
like, no,
grandmother was
90.
7 in Italy, and I lost my grandmother 2 years ago in Jersey. You know what I mean? Which I was very, very close to. My grandmother, my mother's mother, and I mean, just not being able to go there for a week or you know, any of that kind of shit like that bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, like that's really like just like those moments. Like it's like they should just allow you to be able to go to those for those
I
moments.
mean, graduation, you know what I mean? I don't even care if I live there, but I mean, just to be able to come and visit, you know what I mean, for holidays, birthdays, or it's a lot easier for me to travel there than it
And
is
for
for
them.
everybody to travel here.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
For my kids to travel here every whatever. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah. Bahamas is like a
And
tourist
I have
spot.
4 kids. You know what I mean? Then when they come here, you know what I mean? You got to take them out. You got to do this. You spend a lot of money here doing that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot.
Bahamas is not cheap by no means.
They charge you like $10 for a little water bottle in one of those resorts.
Oh, why you were here?
Like when we went to Bahamas before, they charge you that.
Are you gonna stay in Bahamas?
I mean, yeah. I don't have any. Right now, yeah. You know.
Yeah. At least it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. The weather's good, and it's close to home. So for now, this is where I'm going to stay, and we'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? Work is, I'm getting. I started my own company, my own construction company, so I'm starting to get some work and stuff like that.
Good.
Yeah, and hopefully, if that grows, because real estate here is phenomenal. I mean, tell you the truth, it's better here. I don't want to spread it around. You know what I mean? But it is better here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then you'll have everybody from the States coming here invested.
Right.
Literally.
But it is great here to real estate.
Well, on February 8th, when you do go do your match, for your boxing match, make sure you think of the lawyers, the doctors that you want to punch and beat the guy down.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, what's funny is that the promoter texted me tonight and said, let me see what he said. Anyway, he asked me if Ojani, they wanted to know if we were going to wear headgear, right? I'm like, I'd rather not, you know what I mean? And I said, why? He goes, well, Ojani wants to know. So I'm like, well, ask Ojani if he wants to wear a headgear. You know what I mean? So he asks him, and then he said, yeah. And I said, do I have to wear one? And he goes, no. I said, okay. Well, if he wants to wear one, let him wear one. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That was crazy.
Where can we stream this? Can we stream this?
Yeah, you can stream it on Triller. All right, go on Triller TV. You could stream it live on Triller TV. And if you want to buy tickets, there's also in my bio, you could also buy tickets if you want to go to the stadium here too. If you're in Nassau, if you're not in Nassau, it's cheaper to just stream it and have a few drinks at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll link your.
There is a lot of people coming here, though. I gotta say, there is a lot of people from Jersey here.
Wow.
I mean, it's a beautiful time to come. It's a beautiful time to come. Like in February to leave Jersey, like sign me up.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the Super Bowl the next day, so we're gonna do something with the boat the next day, and everybody will get on the boat, and then we'll go watch the Super Bowl at night, dinner, Super Bowl, and that's it.
Wow. Well,
so got a long weekend.
Yeah. We're gonna stream it. We're gonna watch you.
Yes.
Yeah, Triller. It's called Triller. Go on my link in bio, and it's right in there. And actually, you'll see it around. So I mean, a lot of it, you'll see a lot of things where it just says shop. You push the button and then it goes right to everything. It's either the tickets or Triller. Yeah, or you go in my bio. It's very simple. It's very easy to download, very easy to stream, and it's live. You know, and then we also have it on a different platform. You know, because Triller just does it for that one night, then they don't advertise it anymore. You know what I mean? Or you could probably still go on Triller and, you know, still do it. But then they, you know, they always have different things, different events coming in that they have to, you know, promote and do. So after that night, they don't care about you anymore. So that's why we have you know, another platform coming in as well to for people that didn't get it that night. They'll still be able to go on and see it afterwards as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it'll
be around for a while. So I got to make sure.
Good luck.
I got to make sure I do a nice performance. I mean, I better not. You know what I mean?
Are you drinking wine to prepare yourself, or no wine during this time?
You know what? Last week was a rough one. I mean, we literally drank wine every night. All right, and yeah, it was just, you know, one of those weeks. You know what I mean? Where it's so hard here not to have a drink. You know what I mean? And it's like over here, everybody just comes here to drink. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that I should be drinking. I mean, I haven't drank actually now in about 3 days, 4 days, 3 days.
Oh, good job.
I'm gonna 3 days. You know what I mean?
3 days sober.
I'm 3 days sober. It's like when you don't have a glass of wine, it's like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, what is there to do? Well, that's why TikTok is fun, because you can just scroll on TikTok. That takes some time away.
No, do not take that advice. Thank you so much.
No, don't drink. I mean, I highly not suggest drinking. I mean, yeah. I mean, drinking is actually very bad for you, and nobody should drink. But I mean, I like to have some wine occasionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like to do is mix, and you know, once you start mixing and all that crap like that, you just feel like hell the next day. It's probably very unhealthy for you, and so
you need to make
don't recommend any liquor at all.
Well, actually, Joe, I think that's your next venture. Your next venture is to make your own wine. Like you'd actually make it, and it would be authentic. We would buy that.
Well, I'm actually
tell us.
Getting back into the wine. I'm actually getting back into the wine business. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Italy actually soon. All right. I'm trying to actually Thursday. Yeah, I'm actually getting back into it.
And you know what you should do is like the wine without like all the gunk in it. Like that's what everyone wants now. Like without all the preservatives, all the sulfate,
all Italian wine. Okay. I mean, you know what they actually saying, and I used to love California wines, and I loved every wine. You know, all my wines I used to love. I used to not even drink Italian wines before, because I would just drink, when I was in the States, I would just drink a lot of Italian wine, and not a lot of California wines, you know. And then now they have all these preservatives, and they say this is bad, that's bad. You know, they have all these wine guys come on, I don't know, on TikTok, and I don't know if they're telling the truth or not, but now they say all the best wines are Italian, French, anything European. You know what I mean? It doesn't allow the preservatives that they allow them to do there. But now that we got Kennedy in there, he'll probably change all that. So I'll probably start drinking American wines again.
Yeah.
You
know?
Well,
you know,
I would order your wine. So
I would order your wine too.
Well, you need to do that.
Yeah. But I definitely got some very good Italian wines here that I'm going to be trying to get out. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's listen, when you go to another country, it's a little hard to blend in. But I mean, at least over here, it's Americanized. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I think that a lot of people like me here. You know what I mean? Which is good. You know, and I'm very good with everybody here. You know what I mean? You know, like the prime minister is like a president here. You know what I mean? So the other night we were at a party together, and you know, I gave him a cigar. I gave the guy that was birthday, a cigar with their best friends. And I always go to his bar and I hang out and I smoke a cigar. You know what I mean? I'll have like a beer or something, you know, whatever, and just hang out. You know what I mean? And you just have it's a little chill night. You meet all like a lot of political people go there. You know, a lot of politicians and stuff like that. So, you know, you do what you got to do. I mean, they're all nice people. You know what I mean? They're good people.
Yeah.
hang out, smoke a cigar, bullshit a little bit.
I love that.
It's so much fun.
And you pass the night, you know what I mean? Night passes, you know?
Yeah.
Without getting slaughtered, you know what I mean? Because you go to a lot of these, you know, I think his bar is called Curly's. You know, he's got a bar over here called Curly's, you know what I mean? So it's an affordable bar. You go there and you just chill out, and they don't pay me over the head. It's only like $6-7 a beer.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
versus paying like $12-13 a beer. You know what I mean? You go to the hotels, they kill you for a beer, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I try to like, you know, and most of the times I cook at home and I eat at home, you know what I mean? So, and I don't really, you know, I try not to drink that much. So, you know, I go out, I have like maybe a couple beers, whatever, no big deal. You know, I have a few actually very good Bohemian beers here. But anyway, anything else you ladies want to ask me?
No, we are
it.
so grateful you did this. Like, you don't understand. We were distraught when you weren't going to do it. So thank you so much for doing this. We are going to hype up your match.
My ex told me that Roxanne, you wants to do a thing. You remember Roxanne? And I'm like, Roxanne. And she's like, I'm like, why doesn't it sound familiar? Like, you know, Roxanne from a long time ago. And I'm like, oh, sure, why not? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, she's nice. You know, she was like, yeah. She was always, well, you were a blogger then, huh? Are you still a blogger?
Yes. Yeah. We still blog. We podcast. Yeah. We do it all.
Yeah. I remember you used to always stick up for Teresa.
Yeah. Team Teresa, always and forever.
You gotta be Team Teresa. You know what's funny is I saw something on, I sent it to Teresa actually, you know what I mean? I think that Joe and Melissa were had the sprinkle cookies, and then they have my ex-wife all over the billboard on the top. All right, another girl that that girl that acts like Teresa.
Andrea. Yeah.
I don't know her name, but anyway, she's like kind of funny. She like talks like Teresa, whatever, or acts like Teresa, and they had her, you know, talking, acting like Teresa, and then they had all Teresa up there, and then here you got Joe and Melissa with these box of cookies in their hand. I'm like, what the hell is that? You know, I'm like, what's going on here?
So embarrassing. So embarrassing.
It's like really, it's like, okay, well, thank Teresa that you got those box of cookies in your hand. All right. Exactly. Another paycheck you got from us. All right. You wouldn't have had that paycheck either. So make sure you sell a lot of sprinkle cookies and enjoy them in good health.
Yes. We love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, Joe. And we wish you lots of luck. And we can't wait for you to come out with your wine that we just said you're going to do. Because we will be supporting. And we'll be streaming the match.
Well, definitely stream the fight. All right. Like I said, it's on. I call it Thriller, but it's not. It's Thriller.
We're gonna link it. We're gonna link it.
Yeah, it's Triller TV, Triller live streaming. It's streaming live on Triller. All right. Again, Ojani Noa, Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband, if anybody doesn't know who he is, and Joe Giudice, Teresa Giudice's ex-husband from the New Jersey Housewives, Juicy Joe. All right.
Yeah.
That's ready to go. And then we're going to have Kendall Slice Jr., all right, against, I think, Vanilla, I don't know, forget his name, or whatever. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
Somebody else, you know, Kimbo Slice Jr. is going to fight some other guy. I know we got a couple of amateur bouts with some Bohemian young guys, you know, coming up, and they want to show their, you know, show off their talent on stage, which will be good. And then we got the whole, you know, Bahamas Boxing Federation behind us, which is nice. You know what I mean? So it's good. It's a whole legit event.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And we hope to do a whole bunch more of these. You know what I mean? Hey, what do you think about me calling out maybe Louis next?
That'd be amazing.
Oh I don't know, man. That one's gonna be a tough one. But you know what? Everyone's up to that. So there's that.
I think he's got to do it.
Yeah,
I think so too. That'd be so fun.
I think
listen, you can literally just, but you never know. He might give me a hard time. You never know.
Yeah,
he might be so mad at everybody, you know, like making him look so bad on TV. He might take it all out on me.
Yeah, well, it will make an interesting fight. So
yeah, it would be fun. I mean, look, it's it's a, you know, it's like it's not like a, you know, it's real. I mean, but they're short rounds and they're, you know, you're not going to like die out there or anything like that. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
have a good time doing it. And why not?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fun. You know what
I would
mean?
love to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is, look, I'm going out and it's like me punching the bag. All right. Instead of punching the bag, I'm punching a live person. You know what I mean? It's the same workout, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I did all these other competitions and, you know, for nothing. I mean, I might as well do this and at least have fun doing it. And, you know, you never know what'll come out of it.
I
Yeah.
agree. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time. And plus it's something for people to watch, right?
So
Yeah.
fun.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
The
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if people want to watch it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun thing. You know, I don't think a New Jersey housewife guy ever fought in a boxing match.
No,
I don't
definitely
think so either. No.
You're the
You know?
first.
Yeah, I'll be the first.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think
Yeah,
any
so
housewife husband.
Yeah.
no housewife husband's ever done that.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So I'm the only one with cojones.
Yes.
Right, exactly. we already knew that. We knew that. So,
Yeah. All the rest of them are like the Real Housewives.
yeah.
No, they really are.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, anyway, listen, ladies.
Okay.
You have a
Thank
good
you
night.
so much.
Enjoy. And anytime you want me on here, I'll be on. All right. Take care.
I'll remember that, Joe. Thank you so
All
much.
right, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank
Good
you.
luck. We'll say a prayer.
All right, honey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.